Hi guys, so today I'm going to do a little bit different of a video. Over the last couple of weeks I have been watching a lot of the 73 questions of celebrities that Vogue has done on their YouTube channel. Excuse me, and I've decided I was going to create my own 73 question video, I guess, using some of the questions that were asked to them. So I used 5 different celebrities. So I used a combination of James Corden, I think that's how you say his last name, the guy that just carpool karaoke on YouTube. He also hosts one of the late night shows, but didn't stay up late enough to remember which one it is. Sarah Jessica Parker, Taylor Swift, Amy Adams, and Witherspoon. So that's their 73 questions. Let's just go ahead and jump right in. How long have you been in your area? So I have lived in Alberta for 9 years. I have lived in my current house for 6 years. And I will be moving in the next month to a different city in Alberta. And hopefully I'll be there until I move back home. What is your favorite season? My favorite season, I'd have to say, is fall, because it's when my allergies / lung infections are at the least. The spring and the summer are the worst because of all the pollen, and especially the beginning of the summer, or sorry, the beginning of the spring, when snow mold starts to get exposed. Winter's really bad for me because I get a lot of lung infections because of my asthma. So fall, once the leaves start to turn, that time until my asthma and lungs start being affected by the cold is my favorite time. So like mid-fall to mid-winter. Would you ever leave where you live? Well, I'm leaving my current home and my current city or town in just about a month and a half, to move to a very close neighboring town / community. But would I leave Alberta? Absolutely. I would move back to Newfoundland in a heartbeat if I had a choice. Question 4. What is your favorite movie? So my favorite movie from like the olden days is the original Mary Poppins with Julie Andrews in it, from the 80s, because I'm a child of the 80s. Probably one of my favorite movies is E.T. I love that movie. From the 90s is Girl Interrupted. Love that movie. It spoke a lot to me then about sort of I was going through similar challenges, addiction and mental health, and still I watch it now and it still really rings true. From the 2000s, I like The Bucket List, Blindside, $1 Million Baby, and The Silver Linings Playbook are some of my favorite movies from the 2000s. Favorite movie of the last 5 years? By far, it is between Still Alice and The Theory of Everything, which I think they both came out in the same year. And I think that was 2014, so 2 years ago. I think there's probably many reasons why I like them, but both those movies speak to me. Still Alice is about Julie. I can't remember her name. Anyways, a very popular Julianne Moore plays Alice, who is a lady who's diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and it's based on a true story. And I think that speaks to me because of my grandfather and his struggle with Alzheimer's, as well as my grandmother is starting to get dementia, which is connected to Alzheimer's. And then Theory of Everything is about Stephen Hawking, and of course Stephen Hawking is living with ALS, and I think that really speaks to me because of my mother-in-law and her struggle with ALS. Number 6, what is your favorite TV show that's currently on? So I watch quite a few with my husband, but I don't watch them all on a regular basis. I kind of watch it, we PVR it, and then we watch it together if we can. A lot of times I'll just tell him to just take it off the PVR because I don't, I ran out of time or whatever. But 3 of the shows that I really like the most are Bones, Elementary, and Grey's Anatomy. What book are you planning on reading? Is question 7. Plan on reading Chris. Have to read this. Chris Hadfield's book, and it's called. Well, this book, his latest book, is called An Astronaut's Guide to Living on Earth. So, those of you who don't know who Chris Hadfield is, he is a Canadian astronaut who came back from space. I'm gonna say it's coming up on a year now. He was up on a NASA mission, anyways, and when he came back, he wrote this book, and it's kind of like about how to get along with others, and how he had to get along with, I think, 2 other people, and he lived with 2 other people on the space station, and how living in those tiny quarters and having to adopt, how you interact with people, how you can adopt that into everyday life. I've had that, well, my husband's had that book since it came out, because my husband works at a TV station, and Chris Hadfield was on a tour when it was first released, and my husband actually got a signed copy, but because it's a hard covered book and it's not on my tablet, I haven't read it yet, but I definitely want to read it. Question 8. Oh, sorry if everything's shaking. That would be Sam jumping on the bed. Hi, buddy. Question 8. iPhone or Android? Android, hands down. Twitter or Instagram? Instagram, hands down. I use Twitter in connection with this channel, but I don't have a personal Twitter account, because I find it very difficult to type in less than 120 characters. I talk too much, as you guys probably know if you watch my videos. What is your favorite food? My favorite food is pretty much all vegetables, because that's probably about the only group of food that I can eat everything out of, except for I cannot eat turnip. That's the only vegetable I can think of that I can't eat. But I really like salad, so crunchy vegetables, greens, that sort of thing. Least favorite food by far is tapioca pudding and rice pudding. I'm actually not allergic to either one, but I can't handle the texture of them, because to me it feels like I'm getting sick in my mouth. Question number 12. What do you love on your pizza? So as many veggies as I can, with the exception of tomato. I use the tomato sauce, like marinara sauce, but I don't like cooked tomato on it because it gets too soggy. I don't like uncooked tomato, the tomato that's put on at the very end, because I find that because it's raw, it's just too different of a consistency. So anything other than tomato, and I also love grilled chicken on my pizza. Question 13. Favorite drink. This is probably my favorite drink right here, which is icy cold water, which I'm going to have a sip of. I sometimes add fruit to infuse it. I also use one of the lemonade add to water. It's by Good Earth, something Earth. It's organic. I also like making homemade lemonade, so I can control the sugar, and I also like drinking sun tea. Favorite dessert? Question 14. I don't really have a favorite dessert because I can't eat a lot of desserts. If I had to pick, it would probably be watermelon sorbet, which is very hard to find. I usually have to make it if I'm going to have it. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate is question 15. Neither, because I'm allergic to chocolate. What are some of your favorite bands? So Headley, I just went to their concert, and did I do a video about it? I meant to do a video about it, but I posted lots on my Instagram about it. Great Big Sea, they have my heart because it's right from home. Nickelback, Chicago, Matchbox 20. I like all different types of music, so yeah. Question 17. Some of your favorite solo artists. So Pink, hands down, is my favorite female artist. Ed Sheeran, Krista Berg, Akon. Those are some of my favorite solo artists. So question 18. Favorite lyrics. So I actually have 4 sets of them that I kind of like and I kind of live by. So the first one is the chorus from Unwell by Matchbox 20. So it says, but I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell. But wait a while and maybe then you'll see a better part of me. Oh, sorry, a different side of me. I always get that confused. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little impaired. I know right now you don't care. But soon enough you're going to think of me and how I used to be me. So to me that just speaks to mental health. I believe that's what it's written about as well, but mental health and addiction and my struggles with it. So I definitely relate to those lyrics. And then part of the chorus of Try by Pink. So where there is desire, there is going to be a flame. Where there is a flame, someone's bound to get burned. But just because it burns doesn't mean you're going to die. You got to get up and try. So that's kind of one of my mottos of life. I've got knocked down. I've got burnt many times in my life. But if I follow my desire, those periods of tough time or those burns are not the end of the world, and I'm able to push through them because I'm following that desire, that flame that burns inside me. And then the chorus from You're the Inspiration by Chicago, because it's my wedding song. So you're the meaning in my life, you're the inspiration. You bring feeling to my life, you're the inspiration. I wanna have you near me. I wanna hear you I want to have you hear me saying, no one needs me more than I need you. And then Signs by Tesla, but it was originally done by another group, something Machines, can't remember. Anyways, and my favorite part of that whole song is how it kind of opens, where it says, and the sign says, long hair freaky people not need apply. So I tucked my hair up under my hat and went in to ask them why. The man says, oh, he says you look like a fine, upstanding young man. I think you'll do. I took off my hat and said, imagine that, me working for you. So I just really like those lyrics because it's just like judging people. I hate when people judge people, and I just love that because it's like, oh, you want to judge me for something that I choose to do with my life? I'm going to make it look like I'm not doing that, so I'm not having long hair. And that, I'm assuming, is a male. It's a male in the song. It's a male who sings it. And assume that's what they're talking about. So he just puts his hair under his baseball cap and he goes in and tries to apply for the job. And the guy's like, oh, you seem like a great guy. Let's try this. And he takes off his hat and says, well, look at that. I have long hair, but you seem to think I could work for you just fine. So imagine that, me working for you even though I have long hair. So I just love that because it speaks to me about how everyone is individual and everyone should be treated equally. So question 19. If your life were a song, what would it be titled? So I thought about this a lot, and the two titles I came up with sound more like titles for books, not for songs, but that's okay. Either Every Day is a New Day or Your Past Doesn't Define You. Question 20. If you could sing a duet with anyone, who would it be? It would be Pink by far. I just absolutely love her. If you could master any instrument, what would it be? I would say either the piano or the alto sax. So I used to play the piano and the keyboard and then the piano, but then I lost the ability to do that when I was 8, when I had to move into foster care. And then when I was in junior high and high school, I played the clarinet and then the alto sax, and I had to give that up because of my jaw, because I have TMJ. But I would have loved to master that too. I love the sound of the alto sax. So one of those two. I may take piano back up at some point. I wouldn't be able to play the sax again, unfortunately. Question 22. If you have a tattoo, where is it? If you don't, do you want to get a tattoo, and where would you put it? So I've talked about this in other videos. I used to have a tattoo on both of my shoulders on the back, and I had to have them removed because the ink, so allergic to the ink, because the ink was not proper tattoo ink. So I have slight scarring there from having those removed. But I am in the next, between now and the end of summer, so now in September, getting 3 tattoos all related to mental health, addiction, self-harm, and suicide awareness. So I'm getting the semicolon tattoo, which I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about on this channel before, on my wrist. I'm getting an arrow on the inside of my left leg, just above my ankle, and a heartbeat on the same spot but on the right leg, all in purple ink. And I'm going to do a video about why I'm choosing to do those a little later on, maybe before I get them, maybe after, I'm not sure, but I will do a video about that for sure. Dogs or cats, I love both, but I would have to say I'm a cat person because cats are more cuddly. Dolphins or koalas, once again, I love them both. But if I had to pick one, it would definitely be dolphins. The fact that they are in the water, because I'm very connected to water, the element of water. I mean, I'm a Pisces, and actually you'll see in some of the other questions, it's very connected to things that you do in the water. I love swimming. So yeah, I think I love being on the beach. I love being at the ocean, those sort of things. So I would say dolphins, for one, for the fact that they swim. 2, for how friendly they are, because they're always trying to help each other. Because I don't know if many people know this, but they swim in the same formation that geese fly. So geese fly in a V, so that when the bird at the front gets tired, they can fall back in the V and someone else takes the leadership role. Dolphins actually swim in spirals, so the person in the middle of or the dolphin in the middle of the spiral is the leader, and then they spirals out, and on the outside are the most tired, and they just keep swimming, and as the middle one gets tired, it falls out and goes to the back, and then someone else takes this place. So I think a dolphin has a lot of leadership as well, which I believe I do as well too. Bird watching or whale watching. If I had to choose one, definitely whale watching. In the perfect world, I would go whale watching in Bay Bulls in Newfoundland, where they actually take you out and you circle around Bird's Eye Cove, which is a big piece of rock in the middle of the ocean. That is where puffins and other seabirds, small seabirds, live. So that would be the ultimate, because I could go bird watching and whale watching, but if I had to pick one, definitely whale watching. I love being on the water. What is your spirit animal? I believe my spirit animal is a dolphin, for the reasons I've already mentioned, my connection to water. Question 27. What's the best gift you ever received? This may sound a little cliche, but I think the best gift, or I know the best gift I've ever received, is the love of my grandparents. When I was young, I made a lot of poor choices. I were in a lot of poor situations, and my grandparents just loved me through them all. So I think it's the best gift that I ever received, because ultimately, in the long run, it allowed me to learn how to love myself. Question 28. Last gift you gave a friend. I don't buy gifts a lot. I make a lot of gifts. So recently, one of my friends had her birthday, and I made her a homemade card and gave her. She loves roses, and she lives on like an acreage, and she wanted to grow rose bushes by her front porch. So just like the seeds for growing roses. So that's what I did. So yeah, I make a lot of cards. I send a lot of handwritten notes. Like I send one to my grandmother every week. So that's the type of gifts I typically give. I do buy gifts sometimes, but that is definitely the last thing I ever gave. Last gift I ever gave to a friend. I would have to say would probably be that, because that was only a couple weeks ago. Question 29. What are your favorite curse words? Either frack or bollocks. 30, what is your favorite country to visit? Ireland and Scotland. What is the last country you visited? Dominican Republic. What country do you wish to visit? France. 33, what's your favorite color? Purple. Question 35, what color did you wear to your prom? It was a purple dress. It was, I don't know what color purple is, like a dark lilac, I guess. Question 36, diamonds or pearls? Pearls. Question 27, cheap shampoo or expensive? I'd say for the most part, I'm on the cheaper end of shampoo. I use, every day I use Tresemme Climate Control and Moisture shampoo, which is just from Walmart or the drugstore, and it's probably a middle line, because there's definitely shampoos that are cheaper, but there's definitely drugstore ones that are more expensive. But then when my eczema breaks out on my scalp, I have to use a very expensive for like, it's just short of 1 liter, like 900 mils. It's like $100, and it's tea tree oil, lavender oil, and tea tree oil, lavender oil, and something, and then I mix it with diluted apple cider vinegar, and that's what I have to wash my hair with. So that's really expensive, but that bottle lasts me, well, depending on how much eczema I have, it probably lasts me about 100 washes when I mix it with the diluted vinegar. So that is expensive, but it's not what I use every day. 38, blow dry your hair or air dry your hair. Most days I air dry my hair, or in fact my hair goes up like this, and when I get home from work or from my day, my hair is actually still wet. That's because I have very puffy, very curly, wavy, mixture texture hair, so it takes me about an hour and a half to do my hair, to blow dry it, to straighten it, to whatever. So if I'm going to nice events, I might do that, or I might blow dry it and then curl it or something, but usually most days I air dry it. 39, flats or heels. Flats all the way. 40, Pilates or yoga. I like both, but yoga is my favorite. 41, jogging or swimming. 42, best ways to decompress. So I do yoga, I write a journal, I cuddle with my cats, I meditate. Those are some of my favorite ways to decompress. 43, if you have one superpower, what would it be? It would be to heal people from their physical or mental ailments, so everyone could be healthy. Can you just describe an experience when you felt most nervous? Probably when I got married, and I didn't even get married in front of anyone. It was videotaped, and it was just my husband, the wedding commissioner, and our 2 witnesses. But I was just still very nervous. That's probably the most nervous I have been. That was like a good nervous. I have lots of nervous stories for my anxiety, but that's probably the best good nervous. What's the weirdest word in the English language? I believe it's kumquat, which you guys might think I just said a bad word, but that's actually a type of fruit. 46, one thing you wish you had from back home. My family. 47, best piece of advice you ever received. It was from my grandparents. They used to always, and I can't remember where they quoted it from. I think it's a song from before I was born or whatever, but never give up, never give in, never surrender. And that's probably the best piece of advice, because that is what I've used those words to get me through a lot of hard times. 48, one thing you can't live without. Probably my Grammy. I don't know what's going to happen when she passes away. It was very scary when my Grammy passed away. Can't imagine what it's going to be like when my Grammy passes away. One habit you wish you could break. I wish I could break the habit of being so hard on myself. I tear myself apart still, even with being quite healthy in my mental health and, you know, having a lot of coping skills, knowing that most stuff I experience, 99% of stuff, is not my fault. I'm still very hard on myself and take the blame for everything. Question 50, favorite Disney princess? Ariel from Little Mermaid. I don't have an exact reason why, but I could guess it has something to do with the fact that she lives in the water. Best thing about the internet? The best thing about the internet is just this, being able to connect with other people, either around, you know, silly topics like this, like doing a question or a tag video, but also like when someone's struggling, being able to connect with them, and, you know, someone being able to go onto YouTube or go onto the internet and see someone else talking about the same struggles, whether it be being bullying or having struggle with being body positive or whatever it is. Those are some of the best things about the internet. And of course, question 52, what's the worst thing about the internet? And it's everything I just said, but flipped on its head. So people use the internet to bully, use the internet to pick on people, spread rumors about people, that sort of thing. And because there's such access to the internet, it goes both ways. When you're using it for good, it's very, very good. When you're using it for bad reasons, it can be extremely detrimental. Some things you are passionate about, so everyone being treated equally, not painting everyone with the same brush. So when some of these strategies happen around the world, and we take the person who did it and we profile them, whether by their gender, their religion, their sexual orientation, whatever the case is, and then we say, well, everyone in that is that religion, that gender, that sexual orientation, has a mental health concern, has an addiction issue, whatever you profile that person as, and brush everyone with the same brush, and mistreat people based on what someone else in one of the groups that they identify with did. Domestic violence against men is another one of my big domestic violence in general, but domestic violence against men, especially because of everything I went through with my dad. Violence against animals, addiction, mental health, self-harm, and suicide awareness. Those are some of the things I'm passionate about. A lot of stuff, but those are some of them. 54, what advice would you give to your 13-year-old self? If I could go back to when I was 13, I was really locked in my mental health. I was locked in my addiction. I thought that, you know, life was not worth living. And I would just go back and say, you know what? You're going to be okay. You're going to get through this. You are going to struggle a lot, but you are going to come out the other side. And you are going to be able to become productive member of society, and you're going to be able to give back, and it's going to feel really good. Question 55, what would you order at the drive-thru, or do you order at the drive-thru? Don't usually go through drive-thru, partially because I can't eat a lot of those foods, partially because I don't eat, like, that's one of my rules, is don't go through the drive-thru, because drive-thru is how you get fast food, which is not good for you. But the one place that I do, and I hope I don't knock you guys over, I have to straighten out my broken foot. Okay. One of the drive-thrus that I do sometimes go through is Starbucks, and when I go there, I get their passion fruit iced tea lemonade. So it's sugar-free lemonade with just their passion fruit iced tea made cold. Mixed together, it's delicious. It's not sweet at all. Best birthday cake is definitely, that's question 56. What's your best birthday cake? I can't eat traditional birthday cake, but I get fruit flan, and I cannot remember what the crust is made of, some sort of corn flour. That's usually what it's made of. And then there's like a custard on there, a dairy-free custard, and then just lots of fruit. So I like it with banana and peach and kiwi and blueberries and all the fruit that I can eat. I have a lot of fruit I can't eat as well, because they make those in berries, and I can't eat strawberry and raspberry and blackberry. But one that I got, and you guys would have saw on my Instagram if you saw it in March, was the one that my husband bought me from a local bakery for my birthday. It was just like small, not even the size of a side plate, and it was just a corn crust, the custard, and then it was all blueberries and had kiwi in the middle. I loved it. What's the last thing you baked? Question 57. I tried to make gluten-free banana bread and it turned out horribly. It was crumbly, it was dry, it was gross, it didn't even taste like bananas, and I actually had extra banana in it, so that was a complete baking fail, even though usually I'm a pretty good baker. Question 58. What is one thing you need to have in your fridge at all times? So there's three things, either homemade or store-bought hummus. I've talked about this in other videos. I'm a chronic dipper. I always have to dip my vegetables or whatever in something. So I either make homemade hummus because it's like 4 ingredients, or I buy some of the organic or like low ingredient ones, usually from Costco. The other things that I have to always have in my fridge is fat-free vanilla or French vanilla Greek yogurt, because I use it for smoothies. I use it to eat, like make breakfast bowls and stuff. And then fat-free sour cream, because I add that to everything, and I make a dip with that and either homemade salsa or jarred salsa. I mix them together and just eat it with corn chips or eat it on peppers and stuff. So those are the three things I always have to have in my fridge at all times. Question 59. What does creativity mean to you? So to me, creativity is being able to take that passion, that burn inside of you, that desire, going back to the Pink lyrics, and being able to put that out of you in some way. So whether that be painting or drawing or singing or public speaking or videos or whatever, just taking that desire and turning it into a product that you can share with others. That is what creativity means to me. 60 accomplishment you are most proud of. I would have to say staying drug-free for 13 years. I've been clean since February 9th of 2003, so 2003. And not relapsing when my grandfather passed away was huge, because that was one of my biggest concerns, and it's helped me to give me a little bit of extra encouragement that when my grandmother passed away, which, like I talked about earlier, I can't imagine happening, that I won't relapse then either. So staying in recovery for 13 years after being addicted for over 20 years and attempting probably 5 to 6 years, over 20 times to become clean and sober. 61. Most important thing you've ever learned. It was a hard lesson to learn, but to believe in myself, and that came from, once again, my grandparents. Also came from when I met my husband and realized that I am worthy. I am worth someone's time. I don't deserve to be abused. So all those things together equals out to me the most important thing I ever learned was self-worth. A hobby you have picked up. I haven't really picked up many new hobbies, but I have went back to doing cross-stitch, needlepoint, and also painting. And when we move, I'm actually going to have a room where I can paint and close the door so I can dress so the cats can't get into it. So that's painting is probably the one that I'm picking back up. It's not a new hobby, but picking back up. 63, favorite holiday. So I have 2 favorite holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that's because I always used to spend them with my family, and then when I met my husband, like all his family, and they're very family-oriented holidays. But if I had to pick one over the other, it would be Thanksgiving over Christmas, because I find Christmas is too commercialized. And I don't say that because I'm a highly religious person. In fact, I believe in a higher power, but I don't celebrate Christmas in the religious way. I just believe that Christmas and Thanksgiving should be about, being with your family, not like what gift you're getting or what gift you're giving, and how, and going into debt and spending all this money. And so what it's about. It's about family, for me at least. 64. Favorite Disney character is the whole lot of Winnie the Pooh, the whole series, all the characters. But if I had to pick, it would be either Eeyore or Piglet or Pooh. Those are my favorite top 3. Last person you texted, I don't know, since I just broke my foot and I've had to be texting a lot with work and stuff, so I'm just going to check. So actually, the last text, I was totally wrong. The last text I received was from one of my friends, the girl that does my nails, saying, "Hey Nicole, I have another question for you, if that's okay. Is there anywhere to go for free counseling for kids? Her sisters are really struggling right now." And I said, there are a bunch of places. I don't have the information on me right now because I'm home due to my broken foot. I can send you the information later on today or in the morning if you would like. So that's actually the last texting I did was with her, and I'm going to get her a whole bunch of information tomorrow, get it together tomorrow and send it to her. 66. If you could switch lives with a person for one day, who would it be? Either my Grammy, because I'd just really like to know what it's like to be her. Like, she's just so sweet and so kind to everyone and just so loving, and I aspire to be like that. So it would either be her or it would be Helen Keller. I think it would be very interesting to learn to live for a day, not being able to hear, not being able to see, so your whole world is textile. I would love to do that, like switch places with her for a day. 67. First pet. My first pet was a German Shepherd, and his name was Buddy. Putchie, and he was my grandparents' dog. Last song you listened to, oh my goodness. Today when I was in the car coming back from getting my foot wrapped, I heard All of Me by John Legend, which I haven't heard since probably last summer. I freaking love that song. I forgot how much I love that song. So that was the song that was on as I was pulling into my parking spot when I got back home. 69. Song you dance along to. I dance along to a lot of songs. I sing a lot of songs at the top of my lungs. Signed by Tesla is one of the songs that I have off by heart that I sing at the top of my lungs and don't care who sees me. Cats in the Cradle is another one. All of Me. Sorry, when it came on yesterday, I was like howling at the top of my lungs. 70. Biggest surprise you have ever received. Probably getting accepted into the social work program, because I didn't, even though I was at the place where I wanted to do it, I didn't believe I'd get in. I still didn't think I was worthy of that. Question 71. Do you like to stay in or go out? I do like to stay in, watch movies, have homemade dinner with my husband, or have a few friends over. But I do like going out for dinner, going to movies, spending some time community with my husband, or in the community volunteering. But if I had to pick, I would probably say I more stay in than go out. 72. Coffee or tea. I don't drink coffee because I'm allergic to caffeine, and I hate decaffeinated coffee. I can't stand the taste of it. And tea, I just drink herbal tea. So mostly I drink herbal tea from David's Tea. Some of my favorites are their watermelon tea, which is only out in the summer. Their creme brulee, pure vanilla, birthday cake, and all their mint teas. And then there's one that I can never pronounce the name of. It begins with B. It's when you're sick. It's kind of like Cold 911. But it doesn't have apple in it. and it doesn't have anything I'm allergic to in it, so I can actually use it. So I love that. And 70, oh, sorry guys. And question 73, what color was your wedding dress? So no surprise here, the top, it was strapless, the top to just below the bust was white with very thin netting of purple butterflies over it, but you had to be really close to see that. I don't even think you can see it in my pictures. And then the whole bottom was light purple, about the color of my glasses. So that is the 73 questions that I adopted from those 5 videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about what I asked, please leave them in the comments below. Please remember to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.